backstory with regards to how we met, and today I know that you have a super inspiring story, so I just want you to share it with everybody. I could immediately feel your energy, and I was like, wow, like this girl is so rare, aside from the fact that like you're a total badass.
Thank you.
So, just like super honored and grateful to have connected with you throughout this journey. Like, it's crazy what this contest did to us, like mentally. Like, I think one day we need to have an episode, like talking about the behind the scenes of the contest and how crazy it was. Oh my gosh, yeah, constant. Wow. But it's an honor to have you in my life, and I know that you have a crazy story, and it's so inspiring. So let's get to it. Let's get back to when you first started your own journey and when you were introduced to fitness. Hello, Casey Trial. Tell us a little bit about that. How were you introduced to it? How long have you been in it? And we'll take it from there.
So I guess just fitness in general. Growing up, I'd always been in sports. I was actually huge in cross country in high school, and when I joined the Army, I was still running, 6 miles a day, always. I was very lean, like 100 pounds, just very lean. After I had my daughter, I just wasn't happy with that look anymore, and I wanted something different. I had recently, like, when she was still, like, very, very young baby, went through a divorce. So, I was 21 years old, and I didn't like the way my body looked. So every single day I ran, I bought gym equipment, I went to the gym if I had to every single day. I made it a point that at least 30 minutes, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift. I started, like, seeing results and definition, and I started seeing the weight come off, and it just fueled me to continue to go to the gym, and diet. And, I didn't have a lot of money by any means. I was a single mother. But you can always find a way to better your health and nutrition, always. And actually, to be honest with you, it's a lot cheaper than going to eat out every day. So that's where that started. And I just kept continuing to get bigger. And it wasn't until maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to compete. So then I started to compete, and my husband does it as well. So that's really where it stemmed from.
So then also, real quick, just because our applications of fitness are quite a bit different in the sense that I do a little bit more functional training and CrossFit, and you do more bodybuilding. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So,
what competitions do you do?
Like women's figure, NPC. So it's just bodybuilding, and I've tried the CrossFit before, and it's hard. I will say it's absolutely hard. It's hard to be someone who's already muscular and go in there and not be able to lift a lot because you don't know what you're doing, So it's something I would like to try one day.
Oh my gosh. So women's figure NPC. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, I'm curious about it. I remember that before I got into CrossFit, full transparency, actually got my NPC card, and then I hired 2 coaches, and the reason why I ended up sticking through with CrossFit and not NPCs because when I was trying to lean out, they're like, you're 10 weeks out and you look too fat. There's no way in hell you're going to make it. And I was like, you know what? This is not why I'm doing this. So I don't think that this is for me. And I also don't think that they were probably the right coaches either. But I mean, regardless, like everybody has their own journey. So tell us a little bit about the women's figure journey. Like, what is it like?
So I will definitely say you can take like the Miss Health and Fitness competition and how you always had anxiety and times that by 100% because
oh my gosh.
So the first time I did it, I follow things every step. Like I don't cheat. I don't do anything that I'm not supposed to do. I'm always on my diet, always on my cardio. If, my coach says go harder, I go harder. But, it's just a mental game. Sometimes very unhealthy. People might think it's a little more healthy than it actually is. But you're pretty much just leaning out to where you have like, I mean, you should have seen me. I was like 9% body fat. I looked like a skeleton, completely unhealthy. I think it scared my mom a little bit. Um, but it's just dieting and constant cardio. And I've bounced back and forth whether just throwing in the towel and doing another avenue of fitness. Also, you wake up and you see yourself and you think you're completely small or you're too big, or it's just always constantly a mental battle. So it is pretty tough. I mean, you've got to be pretty mentally tough. And, you go on stage and you have judges looking at you and they're going to tell you in your comments you're too, not fat, but they're going to tell you that you're too thick or you're holding too much water or you're too dry or, so it's a little tough, mentally.
For sure. Um, let's get a little bit deep. Do you do anything with regards for like mindset training? Because you probably know this better than anybody else. Like when you're hella freaking stressed out and like cortisol is through the roof, like especially if you have to like put your body in front of judges, like that is not going to serve you very well. Like, do you do anything to manage your stress? And if so, what is it?
So I think, so if I am 100% committed into doing a prep, I already have to go ahead and do I have to just mentally prepare for it. I'm getting on stage. I'm gonna be practically in your underwear. You're gonna be in a bikini on stage.
Right.
So I just have to get that. That doesn't even bother me. I'm like, you know what? I'm already doing it. I'm committing. But what I do have to do is kind of let go of things that I cannot control, and I use that with everything in life. So if I'm anxious, nervous, or getting stressed out, not feeling like I'm ready enough, or because I mean, it is such a mental burden. Like it drives you insane. So I just breathe and I just keep going. I can't control it. I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. So I'm kind of a switch on, switch off person. I either do it or I don't. And that's kind of how it helps me get through some of the mental stresses. I either just accept it and keep going and keep pushing, or I just say it's not worth it if I can't control, my mental health at that point.
Oh, that is so powerful because, I always tell this to, you know, I mean, anybody, like whether it's my friends or my clients, that you have to face everything with an intention and that your mindset is everything because that is really the only thing that you can control. And, you know, you're absolutely right. I have a couple questions for you that I think the audience would definitely benefit from hearing.
Sure.
So, when it comes to fitness, a lot of people think that in order for you, whatever your goal may be, I tell this to everybody. Generally speaking, like your goal split into one of three pillars. It's either more aesthetics based, I want to look a certain way, performance based, I want to, let's say, be able to deadlift 300 pounds by X amount of time, or longevity based, where it's like I basically just want to feel good and whatever this might really mean, like whether it's get off of medications, that sort of thing, be able to play with my kids, blah blah blah.
Sure.
But with regards for any fitness, health or fitness goals, whatever it may be, I feel like there is a big misconception out there that in order for you to get ahead, you have to it has to be either black or white. Like you have to spend hours at the gym. You have to eat meal preps out of Tupperware. Like, and unless you can't do these things, then you're just doomed. What is your opinion on that?
So I hear exactly what you're saying. So, like I tell everybody, if I have clients or I have friends that I'm helping, first off, nobody is prepping and eating exactly what they're supposed to eat every single day. I mean, you mentally, I mean, maybe somebody can. I personally don't enjoy doing that. So it's a life. style. It's a journey. It's not, it's something that you've mentally got to reset your brain, and you've got to have a different outlook. And like you said, everybody's got their own definition of fitness. You do not have to look like this. I mean, if you look like me, it's going to take every other day at the gym and a decent amount of cardio. And I do diet Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, I kind of let loose and do what I need to do. And then I reset, you know? So it depends on what you want, and ultimately, I feel like if you're happy with yourself and your avenue of fitness, then you're fine. If you're healthy and you're good, you don't have to look like somebody else. So it just depends on what you want.
Oh, this is so powerful. Do you mind if we dive a little deeper into that?
Sure.
Okay. So you said that, during the weekdays, you're Monday through Friday, you're a little bit more strict, but then on the weekend you let loose a little bit. Do you mind going into details with regards for that? Because also I think one thing to note is that even when you're, let's say, on your more relaxed days, like, there need to be some sort of guideline. I feel like some people really screw themselves up on the weekend because it's the weekend. So if we like can dive deeper with regards for that and what it is that you do, that would be awesome.
Sure. Okay. So I mean, on the weekdays, it's basic. I try to keep um, maybe honestly, I like to at least do 6 meals a day on the weekdays, because you keep your metabolism going. You don't want to. Some people think, oh, I only eat once a day. Well, that's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for anybody because your metabolism is shot. So eating smaller meals, healthy meals throughout the day, and carbs are your friend. They're not the worst. You just got to learn how to eat your carbs. But besides that, I structure my diet every on the weekdays. I go to school, so I literally just carry my lunchbox with me everywhere, and I just like shovel my food through the day. I drink my water because that does aid weight loss, if that's what, and it's good to be hydrated. But on the weekends, like you said, no, I don't just wake up and rip through a bunch of waffles and then eat ice cream and drink a bunch of beers and just I don't get wild. I don't go crazy with it. I do have self control. So I wake up and I eat a normal breakfast. In the mornings, I love my eggs, my spinach, and my oatmeal or English muffin. That's my thing, and I'm happy with that. I always will be happy with it. And I like my coffee black, so that's easy for me. But if my husband or my daughter, they want to go out to dinner and then go have like frozen yogurt, or they want to do something like that, I'll kind of adjust my I guess my macros throughout the day. So I would say I have like a cheat meal, or I won't be 100% on point with how many meals I eat, but I won't overdo it, because when you're overdoing it, I think that you can continue that habit. You know what I mean? Like you keep going and feeding off of that habit. And when I say like frozen yogurt, I'll do Halo Top ice cream. I don't get wild and dump a whole bunch of toppings, and sometimes that's okay. And I don't slam like a bunch of beers. I'll have like maybe half a bottle of wine on the weekend, and that's about it.
But what's your favorite Halo top?
I really like the red velvet. I can't get away from it.
Okay, all right, I love it. I think my
Yeah,
favorite is the peanut butter. Peanut butter anything, just like
that's
forget
Mark's
about it.
favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
So you said something that really struck out to me, and I say this a lot. I always tell this to everybody: for every action that you take, there is a reaction. And what you said about you being a little bit more Vanessa Diaz birthday cake. Oh my god! Are you seeing the comments too? Can you see them?
Yeah, I can see them.
Oh
Yeah,
my
birthday
gosh!
cake. I, I
Oh my god!
I actually did try the cookies and cream one 2 nights ago, and it's really good. It is.
That's Erin's favorite.
It's good. I did try it.
Yeah, that's Erin's favorite. They're all good though.
They are.
But something that I always tell this to everybody is that for every action that you take, there is a reaction. And like you said something that was so powerful, because you're like, even on the weekends, like if my family wants to get froyo or we're gonna get ice cream, like, yes, you basically break the routine, because you worked hard, so it helps to keep you motivated, but you don't overdo it to a point where you sabotage yourself and then you take two steps back. And also, I don't know if you're like me, but I feel like females, especially, are very hard on themselves. And I know that if I felt like I did something wrong with regards for my nutrition, I will feel so guilty. And like bouncing back from
Yes.
that is just going
Hmm.
to take more time. And it takes a toll on you, like just, full body, mind, spirit. And I would say that is probably one of the most important things to, like, you know, apply balance, but in a sense where you keep your sanity regardless. Because if you're either
Right.
being too strict or if you have no guidelines and you go overboard, you are not maintaining your sanity. And when that
Right.
is not happening, then that's not sustainable. Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. Nobody, and I see some of these competitors, and I see, even some friends, they'll try to stay in the same body all year, like stage tight. And I know, I mean, I could just look at them and tell, like, mentally, you cannot be stable. You just can't. You need a little bit of leeway just for, mental health.
For sure.
So,
I mean, because I'm not a figure competitor, nor have I done this. I told you, like I wanted to get into it, but I had an experience. I was like, you know what? It's not for me. I'm out.
oh, absolutely. One
Um,
experience will end you.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But I, it's just, you know, I don't know what prepping really is like, but I feel like prep is it's a very stressful like situation to deal with to begin with. Is that true?
Mhm.
What does that look like
Yeah, it
for
is
you?
very stressful. I think diet. So for me, diet is easy, because I do diet, you know, off season anyways. But it's just a lot of things. It's feeling like you're not big enough, you're too small, you're too big, you're holding too much water, too much body fat, or um, you can't make it to the gym today. And now, since you can't make it to the gym today, that other girl's training 5 times harder, and she's at the gym today. Um, it's just a bunch of different, and so with me, when I'm on my like off season, just living my normal life, um if I miss a meal or I'm too late on a meal or whatever, then fine, I'll just make it up and I keep moving. I don't look in the past, I just keep going. But when you're on prep, you're like, I have to eat every 2 hours, I have to eat every 3 hours, I have to do this, that. And personally, it's for me because I'm always 100%. I like to make sure that I'm 100% in everything I do. um and like I said, I've bounced back and forth, whether to continue to compete or just to be happy in my life and my own skin, and just do what I do for myself and not be on stage.
For sure.
So,
Yeah, that's powerful. Okay, so if we can give the audience a few tips from Devin May. So you've said that for you, diet is very easy. Now, um, one thing that I always tell to everybody is that no matter what is the one thing that you're struggling most, know that the one thing that's going to get you over the hump is your mindset. Mindset is key, but if you could give anybody who's struggling with their nutrition or diet, what would be the one go-to tips that you could give them?
so my go-to tip is, if you make it a habit, you'll continue to do this. So do this for yourself. Do it for yourself. Do 2 weeks, 2 weeks for yourself to see a difference. And I'm not talking about jumping on the scale. Get rid of the scale. Don't weigh yourself. Take a picture of yourself on the first day, and then take a picture of yourself on the last day in a sports bra, just your stomach area. For yourself, see where you can push yourself, where you can go, because I've seen transformations of people start, you know, where they were not so happy, and they were so dedicated that they had lost so much weight, they had diet, and they are committed to it. So don't do it to look like somebody else. Do it for you. Give yourself that gift. And if it's not for you and you're happy where you're at, then you know what? That's totally fine. Live your life and be happy. But if you're not happy, gift yourself, that effort just to see a difference in your body and to be happy. So that's my thing. Like you said, it's mental. You've got to do it for yourself. You've got to find the why you want to do it, not why everybody else wants to do it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, you're just speaking so much truth. And, before I've been a trainer for a long time before I started my own business. And one thing that I noticed, just like with gym goers, people who weren't my clients who were at the gym, like because I watch and see, and like you see how people
Hmm.
act, and when especially women were applying this lifestyle or at least trying to get into it because they want to find a boyfriend. You hear that very often. Or because, they have a wedding or just like some kind of random event that by the end of the day is not truly about them. You find them like bouncing back so fast. And
Yes.
they either don't even get to their goals, that is very rare, or if they do, they bounce back like in 2 weeks.
Right. So here's the secret to it all.
Yes.
Like I said in the beginning, this is a lifestyle. If you are going to diet and you're going to eat healthy and your body is going to adjust to this lifestyle, this is why you have a few cheat meals or a cheat day. As soon as this is how it is after a show. I'll be 9% body fat. If I eat bad for a week, I will gain 20 pounds in a week to 2 weeks, like that. And it's not going to be that extreme because I've extremely, depleted my body at that point. But if you go from dieting and then you just let loose after this show, you might actually become bigger or worse off than when you started because your body is going to hold on to all this stuff that it did not have. So make it a lifestyle. And I think I seen a question: how do you overcome the thought of, oh, I can't eat what I want, that's my struggle, the thought of not having food? So that's what I mean. You've got to make it a lifestyle, and that's really what you have to do. And you know what? You don't have to eat that. You've got to make this your own freedom. I feel like you want to eat whatever you want to, but you don't have to. This is your freedom. This is your freedom to restrict yourself, and some people don't, but for your health, do so. And give yourself that gift of trying to see where you can push your body. And like I said, everything becomes a habit. So if you continue to diet and you continue to live this lifestyle, this new you might enjoy this lifestyle, and it just become, your own journey, your own fitness journey.
I'm going to challenge you. Can I? What if
Sure.
somebody gets started and let's
Mhm.
say they realize that it's a little bit hard for them to be consistent, and to make it a lifestyle? What would be the go-to tip that you could give them?
So I do honestly. So I'll go back to my own experience and relate it to me. I got up at about 4:15 a.m. every morning. Drove my daughter to daycare. Went to PT in the morning because I was active duty Army. Um, I picked my daughter up around maybe 6:30 p.m. I went straight to the gym. A single mom, still prep my meals. There is always 30 minutes. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to do a membership. You could do HIIT at your house. You could jump up and down and make your heart rate go up. Take your beats. There is time. I promise you, there is always time. You have just got to make it. If you're sitting on the couch or you're doing whatever or between commercials, get up and do jumping jacks, anything just to get your body moving. I do always think that there's time. I hate hearing that I don't have enough time. Well, you know what? Walk to class and do lunges. You could do walk to work or whatever you have to do, but you could do something. And if you can't exercise, you can't go to the gym, watch what you put in your mouth or how much you consume.
Awesome. Mic drop.
So,
It's
I know it's hard and it's a mental block, and I hate to be so aggressive and tough, but
you need it.
put food into our body. Right. You put the food into your body. You don't have to. So when I go out and I have a hamburger, I don't order it with the bun. I don't. I just get it wrapped in lettuce. That's it.
Yep.
So
So there you have it, guys. By the end of the day, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your training, whether it's, the amount that you sleep, what kind of ice cream you want to have on the weekend, it is all choices. By the end of the day, it is your choice every day to show up and strive to be either better for tomorrow or to want to stay average. I'm going to sound tough because I hear a lot of freaking excuses, but it is your choice to want to level up your life. And the shit that you say is the thoughts that you're telling yourself. So we need to switch that first. We need to switch our thoughts, and we need to know that, especially if we live in this country, then you have the power to decide whatever it is that you want to decide. Which is why when I went for this contest, I said this to everybody, that my mission, and this is something that I will disclose in more detail in the future, is to support the Wounded Warrior Project, because it is because of these people, it is because of the people who serve us that we have the freedom that we have nowadays. And, I said this, contest or not, we're going to support the Wounded Warrior Project, and moving forward with our business, some of our proceeds are going to go for the Wounded Warrior Project. We decided that this is going to be an evergreen thing, because every day I want you to know that you have a choice. And you have a choice because you live in this country. So it is up to you to either, gain the weight, lose the weight, go to the gym, not go to the gym. It is up to you to struggle, to not struggle. It is up to you to get the help if you know that you need the help because you've been struggling, or to keep on struggling. But by the end of the day, you have a choice because you're in this country. Devin, you have served in the military. Your husband serves in the military, right?
yes.
My gosh, thank you so much for your service. And Casey, I don't know if you're still here, but for anybody who knows anybody who's serving in the military, or if you're actively in duty, then thank you from the bottom of my heart. Man, there's just so much to be grateful for because of all the opportunities and the choices that we get to make each and every day because we are in this country. Devin, we didn't talk much with regards to your journey in the military, but what I know is, we started speaking about supporting the Wounded Warrior Foundation. There is, another project that we want to start supporting, and that is Marky's Charity. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So, as we've talked about, I entered the Miss Health and Fitness competition as well. And my proceed was going to go to my stepson, Marky. We have a foundation for him called Marky's Rangers. He has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. I'm not too sure how, it's very rare. 1 in 3,500 boys worldwide have this disease. It's a progressive muscle wasting disease. They lack dystrophin. So what that means is over time their muscles deteriorate, and that includes their heart functioning, and everything shuts down. Their breathing. So ultimately, it's fatal, and they will pass away very early. So sorry. It's hard for me to get that out because I see my husband, go through so much pain, and me as well. And my daughter, that's her brother. Just watching him have difficulties. He will probably be wheelchair bound in, I'm guessing, maybe 2 years. He gets weak very quickly. And there's no cure, and there's no it's irreversible. Like, you can't, there's nothing you can fix. The damage that is done is done. So say they do find a cure, but he's wheelchair bound, he's still wheelchair bound. It's incredibly expensive for families to get wheelchair accessible vehicles, stuff that insurance won't pay for, like the powered wheelchairs, all that stuff. So what I was going to do was give a portion to Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy, Cure Duchenne for research, and then of course Marky's Rangers to help with Marky's medical needs. So.
Oh my gosh. Describe his life currently. How old is he?
So Marky is 8, and that sounds very young. However, that's basically half Marky's life. Um, so this is my stepson. So he currently lives with his mother right now. He's mainly under care of a nanny at the moment. We just had him for a little over a month, and we'll probably eventually have him for a longer amount of time. But his life he's happy. He's also autistic and doesn't really quite, he understands, but doesn't understand what he has, his disease. He doesn't understand, his crappy future. He doesn't get that, which is kind of a blessing in disguise. But yeah, he's nonverbal. He's still like in diapers and all that stuff at 8. So it's very, I honestly think, my husband will cry like 3 or 4 times a day just looking at him. So it's very sad.
Wow. Man, when you hear these things, it really helps to bring things home with regards to why it is an obligation for us to be grateful each and every day. Because just a minute ago we talked about having the freedom to make the choices to do everything that you want, whether it is to shit on your diet or to sleep in and stay average or to be fucking relentless. But somebody like Marky, that is a kid who does not have the opportunity to make that choice. And that is why it is so important to take care of our health. Now, yes, this is, basically a genetic condition, but there's just so much to be grateful for. And because imagine if this was your child in this situation. My question to you is, we want to help. How can we help?
So I always say knowledge and sharing awareness is the best thing that anybody could do. The more people know, the more funding, the more research, the more we can help find a cure. And there is promising futures in gene therapy, but if there's no cure, so all that stuff that people are like, oh, they're saying, well, unless there's a cure, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop, helping Marky. I'm not gonna stop. My heart breaks every single time I see my husband. Every single time he looks at him, I can just see, he's just lost, and it kills me. So, that's the love of my life, and I won't stop until, I see him happy. But also, so for Marky in specific, we have markysrangers.com, and I will post the links and also some informational links on this live feed after it's done, so everybody can see. But you can make a donation to Marky's Rangers, which we would love, because all this money goes straight into his medical trust, only for medical needs, and that's it. And it's dealt with by a third party. Or you could do non-taxable deductions in Marky's name to PPMD or Cure Duchenne, any of those, however people would like to do it.
Amazing. So you guys, let's come together as a community and help to make a difference. It does it, whatever your heart finds is, the right way to help, whether it's just creating more awareness and sharing this with your friend or making a donation. We are here to help one another. We really are. And, after being in this contest, we both, we fearlessly asked so many people and got outside of our comfort zone. But you know what? In order to get things done, we have to speak up. And let's speak up for Marky because he can't speak up for himself. So I believe that it is our obligation to help whichever way we can. Okay, for everybody, it means something different. So, Devin, if you can do us a favor and just post in the comments the site so that people can, either create a post about it or, make a donation, that will be amazing. You guys, we are a tribe and we've already proven that we can do amazing things together. So let's continue this, okay? Whichever way feels right for you. It is our obligation to speak up for somebody who unfortunately can't. How do we feel about that?
That's really...
Oh my gosh, of course. I had a really fun time chatting with you.
I know, it was like talking to my sister. That's literally how I felt, like I was FaceTiming with my sister.
Yeah, ever since our first conversation, I remember I was like, I know we've never met before, but I can feel your energy, and like you truly are a soul sister, and I really hope to see you in person sooner rather than later.
I know. I told
at the Olympia, right?
No, I think we're gonna go with the Arnold this year. Me and my husband both.
Oh, Arnold. Sorry. Okay, when you're not a bodybuilder.
Okay, one day Olympia. One day Olympia. We can go with that.
Okay, can you tell me the difference between those two? Wow, this is funny. I totally just had like a non-bodybuilder moment.
No, it's okay. They're just two different shows. There's so many shows. It's all right. Olympia's like the big time though. So, and there's no like, I don't know if I'll ever make it there. But right now, I'm doing bodybuilding for myself because I want to see how far I can push my body and how it's a personal thing. And like I said, I've battled back and forth. Like, do I really care? Does it really matter? Do I just want to live my happy life, or do I want to push my body to to the top shape that it possibly can be at?
By the end of the day, it is your choice.
Absolutely.
There you go. Amazing, Mama. I had such a good time speaking with you today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
sharing oh my gosh, and for sharing some incredible just tools and tips. Once we get off this call, if you please don't mind just putting in the comments Marky's link so we can, start helping out whichever way we can. You guys, go add Devin as your friend, message her. She's a powerful force, like I've said this. We're definitely going to be doing a lot of more things together in the future. This is just the beginning, and I'm just super stoked.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Have an amazing day, Mama.
You too. Bye.
Ciao.